Hi guys, welcome to the first video in a series of videos about Chapter 5 Forces and Motion. In this chapter you will learn about the interplay between forces and motion, and you may already know that when a force acts on you, your motion will change. In the next few lessons I will teach you exactly how that relationship between forces and motion works, and today we will start with the concept of acceleration. Before we start, let's review today's learning goals. After this lesson, you will be able to explain what uniform motion is, explain what uniform acceleration is, and finally explain how acceleration and speed are related. But first, let's review what speed is again. You can think of speed as how fast an object is moving. An object with a larger speed will travel faster and it will cover greater distances in a certain amount of time compared to an object that is traveling at a lower speed. Just like you express distance in meters or kilometers, speed has a corresponding unit, in this case meters per second or kilometers per hour. We will use both of these units quite often, but the standard unit for speed is meters per second. This is important when we start using formulas to calculate things. When using standard units, meters and seconds, you can also say that the speed is the amount of meters that an object travels per second. Let's have a look at an example. Suppose you're walking down a hallway and your speed is equal to 1.2 meters per second. That means that in exactly 1 second you travel a distance of 1.2 meters. Can you tell me what distance you travel in 5 seconds? How about 10 or 60? In this example, the speed did not change. In other words, the speed is constant. But what do you know about constant speed? Imagine sitting in a train, roughly halfway between two major cities. The train speed is no longer increasing, nor is it slowing down yet. In other words, the speed is constant. It does not change. We say that the train is undergoing uniform motion. Now imagine closing your eyes. In that case, it would be really hard for you to tell whether or not you're moving. To summarize, when your speed is constant, the distance traveled per time unit, per hour or per second is the same. This is called uniform motion. And if you would close your eyes, it would feel as if you're standing still. You don't feel a force acting on you. But what would you feel when the speed is not constant? What happens when you're accelerating? Before we discuss that, let me explain what acceleration is. You can think of acceleration as how fast or how slow an object's speed is changing. The larger the acceleration, the faster its speed will change. For acceleration, the standard unit is meters per second squared. And you can also say that acceleration is the amount an object's speed changes per second. Let's have a look at another example. Suppose you're sitting in a garden and suddenly an apple falls from the tree. Initially, the apple's speed is equal to 0, but since it's being pulled at by the earth, its speed will increase. In this case, the gravitational acceleration is equal to 9.8 meters per second squared. That means that in exactly 1 second, the speed increases by 9.8 meters per second. Can you tell me what the speed is after 5 seconds? What about 10? That's a little bit easier. After 10 seconds, the speed is equal to 98 meters per second. In this example, the acceleration did not change. In other words, the acceleration is constant. Let's have a closer look. Now we're sitting in a car, waiting for the traffic light to turn green. As it turns green, you hit the pedal and the car starts speeding up. Assuming the speed increases by the same amount each second, we can say the acceleration is constant. It does not change. We say that the car's acceleration is uniform. Summarizing, acceleration is the amount of speed increase or decrease per time unit. When the speed increase or decrease is constant, we say it is uniform acceleration. And if you were to close your eyes, you would feel a force acting on you. To conclude, speed is distance traveled per time unit. When the speed is constant, this is called uniform motion. Acceleration is the change of speed per time unit. And when the acceleration is constant, this is called uniform acceleration. And that wraps up this video lesson. Make sure you also watch the accompanying video, Acceleration Skills. See you next time. Bye.